Hello everyone, this is Valvus Alarm here, and for this particular video I wanted to just talk about a little bit about this particular game that I've played perhaps a few months ago, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, that I really thought was kind of a very cool, interesting game that I've always wanted to chat to people about, but never really had the opportunity because of whatever it is, people didn't know about it or weren't excited about it or something like that. And that game was Silent Hill Shattered Memories. And I remember a friend of mine coming up to me and telling me, hey, you should really check out this game called Silent Hill Shattered Memories. And I told her, like, wait a minute, is that the one on the Wii? The Silent Hill on the Wii? And she told me, yeah, you should totally check this game out. It's something super, super cool. And for me personally, I've always been a big Silent Hill fan. You know, I've played all the games except for Origins, which came on the PSP and the PS2. So I've always had this sort of renowned respect for the series and always been a big fan of it. And then I rented the game and beat it, and I was so impressed by its story. And you know, I mean, Silent Hill always had a great atmosphere. A lot of people can say that this one took a little bit of a backseat when it came to sort of the craziness that we would expect from Silent Hill games, like the Mirror Room from Silent Hill 3 or the Pyramid Head from Silent Hill 2 or anything like that. It never really had those kind of really over-the-top, you know, kind of moments. But what really intrigued me about this game was its story. It was a story that I was connected to from beginning to end, which I normally wouldn't do that for most Silent Hill games. Usually, for example, like games like Silent Hill 3, which I really enjoyed, but when they start throwing out things like, Heather, you're going to turn into a god by the end of this game, and then you're going to take over the world or destroy the world or something, that's when you start to kind of lose me a little bit, you know? And for this game, it was a simple story. A simple story of this father who lost her child and, you know, is out to sort of find out where his child is and what happened to her. And it's such a basic, simple story that the voice acting and the facial expressions, even though it's just the Wii and it's not in high definition or anything like that, still I felt was engaging. I mean, I really felt for the character of Harry Mason in this game in ways that I really didn't feel in a lot of other games. I remember there's a moment in Shattered Memories where you feel that Harry Mason is giving up in a way, that what's going on around him is just too much for him to handle, and you feel this sense that he's giving up and he just can't move forward. And it was one of the very few moments in video games for me where I was in my mind rooting for him. Like I was like a cheerleader, just like rooting for him to move forward. And I really don't get that in a lot of games, you know, even great games like, you know, Uncharted and Mass Effect and Batman Arkham Asylum. All these games are great, but I always felt that I was along for the ride, you know. It's like I was never really engaged with these characters. I was just along for the roller coaster, you know. With this game, I felt that I was with Harry Mason, and towards the end of the game, it has about 3 to 4 different endings, but there was one particular ending that really honest to God got me. It was really both emotional and shocking at the same time. And in ways that I really, the only game that did that to me was, you know, Metal Gear Solid 4, the part of the microwave room where you sort of see Solid Snake sort of passing away, and it was that sort of similar moment of being choked up, like this can't be happening right now. I can't believe this is going on. And I had that very similar moment with this particular ending. It was both, I was completely shocked, but yet it was so emotionally engaging, and it was almost an unfortunate, fulfilling event that it really stuck with me long after I beat the game. And another thing that I really enjoyed was how the puzzles in the game made sense for what was going on in the story. And everything, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but a lot of the puzzles really connected towards the end of the game, and it meant something, and there was a meaning for it. And it really reminded me a little bit of beating BioShock, where you get the sort of ending of "would you kindly," and then you go back, play the game all over again, and then you see how everything is connected, and there were no shortcuts, and everything made sense when you went back and played the game. And this game had a very similar moment just like that. There were no shortcuts. There was always, everything was for a purpose, everything had a meaning to it. And it's just those little details that really is something I really appreciated. And you know, I know that people will have their arguments about this game. I know that, you know, it's not a very long game. It's about a good 5 hours long, and there's not a lot of diversity when it comes to the monsters you're going up against, and some people are not crazy about not able to use weapons in this game and sort of constantly running away. But this game I felt was special. I really felt that this was a big shocker for me. A game that I felt that I had it was absolutely never on my radar of games to play. And after playing it, I was very fortunate that I got a chance to play it, because it really is, to me, a unique little game, and definitely a little game that for me personally, I'm going to put sort of my classic little games in, or my classic little game collections in. And to me, this game was really like a little gem, you know. You dig and you sort of see these interesting games. And I just wanted to throw my little 2 cents out there. Like I said, I know it's not a game for everyone, but it was definitely an interesting game for me, and something that collection of classic games that I will always remember. So thank you guys so much for watching, and take care.